So today we'll work on forms print layouts using standard text. First we'll understand what is standard text and how we create standard text and how to transport standard text from one system to another system. What is standard text? Standard text is a reusable text. I'll give you one example. Let's say in a company, there are some terms and conditions. Terms and conditions are very common for many print layouts. Different print layouts, the company terms and conditions are common. At the time when you are designing multiple smart forms, do we need to enter the same text again and again by creating a secondary window? It's a duplication, right? We are going to create one main window in every form and we are going to enter the text. Let's say if there is a change, let's say we are using these terms and conditions in around 10 smart forms, right? Let's say after a few years, there are some changes in the terms and conditions. Then what we need to do after if there is any change in terms and conditions, we need to update all the smart forms, right, with the new terms and conditions. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now how many forms we need to update? If there is any change in terms and condition text, and if we are using terms and conditions in uh, individual text objects in the secondary windows, now how many windows we have to update? How many smart forms we need to update now?
Single.
We are using it in 10 smart forms, right? 10 different smart forms. You are using terms and conditions text. And there is a change in terms and conditions. Now, how many smart forms we need to update to apply
10.
the updated terms and conditions? 10,
10.
10 forms. You need to open every smart form and you need to update the text, right? But when you use a reusable text, when you use a reusable text, that's called standard text. So you are going to create text as an object and you are going to use the text reference in the smart form, in every smart form, wherever you need same terms and conditions or same text. Okay, you're going to use this standard text name in your smart form. Then what will happen? Even if there is any change in terms and condition, do we need to go to smart form to update the terms and conditions text?
No, sir.
When you are using reusable text or standard text, you don't need to go for smart forms to update the standard text. Simply go to that standard text, change the standard text and update with the new terms and condition. Now that standard text change will be applicable to all the smart forms or all the other objects, whatever uh, referring to the standard text, they will be automatically updated. You don't need to do any changes, right? Standard standard text can be used in smart forms as reusable text as well as in programs. Also, we can call the standard text, right? Usually, when we use standard text, we write programs to generate the emails, automatic emails, right? For example, insurance enrollment reminder, right? These kind of automatic emails we used to generate. At the time, from standard text, we are going to read that email content, right? In programs also you can read the text, reusable standard text. For that we have a function module. I'll show you in the next session. What is the transaction code for standard text? SO10.
SO10.
SO10 is the transaction code for standard text. So standard text, what is standard text? Standard text is client dependent. Okay, it's not client independent, it's a client dependent. Same like SAP script. How to copy it to the other client?
Through transport request.
First we need to add the
Listen.
standard text to the transport request, and then we need to use SCC1 transaction code to copy standard text from one client to another client. Same like SAP scripts. Okay. Any dependent object, we need to do client copy using SCC1. Any client dependent object. Okay. When you create any program or any table, when you assign the package, what will happen? It will ask for a transport request, right? Without providing, like without selecting the transport request, we cannot proceed further, right? When we are creating the program and when we are using a package name, transport request is mandatorily created, right? Automatically it will create a transport request. Even for smart forms also, right? But when you are creating standard text, it won't ask for a transport request. Even if you assign for a package, it is not going to ask for any transport request. But to move it from one system to another system, from development to test system, what is the functionality available? We can only move through transport request, right? But standard text are not going to generate any transport request automatically. What we need to do? We need to add standard text to the transport request externally. Okay. For that we use a program. I think that program name is RSTXTRAN. Okay. So we use this program to add that standard text to transport request. We use SCC1 to copy to the other clients. Okay. So where we can use this standard text? Print forms includes scripts, smart forms and Adobe forms. Okay. You can use this standard text in SAP scripts, smart forms or Adobe forms. Print forms. You can also use in programs. Okay. Standard text can be used in print forms. That means SAP scripts, smart forms and Adobe forms, and also in programs. Okay. Now let's see how to create a standard text. So what is the transaction code to create the standard text? SO10. Now this is the standard text name. So enter some standard text name. Create the standard text. So this is the text editor where you need to enter the standard text. Okay. Think we have a different editor also. Let me find. Change editor. So you have a word based editor. You can just copy and paste the text here. You can just copy and paste the text here. You can see the button in the other themes, but here if you are using Fiori based theme, you can use go to change editor. So here you can paste the text. Let's copy some terms and conditions from online. Go to SO10 and you can paste here. Anyway, these boxes and all will not come. Once you saved it, all will gone. Save it. Now go to line based editor. This word based editor, right? Go to line where text based sorry, text editor. Click on change editor. So this is space, I think, whatever available here, right? Huh. Now observe, each star represents a new line or a new paragraph. Okay. If you, if you select here, if you see the available symbols, star is for default uh, paragraph. So it will start a new paragraph if you use star at the beginning. B for paragraph. C for centered, like text justification. C for center, L for left aligned. Equal to means extended line, like continuous, continuity to the previous line. Continuity to the previous line. We can use a equal to. It will continue as it is. Like if you see here also, if you observe this, so first line establish. Next line is next line is the continuation for the first line only, right? But why we are not using equal to here? Why we are not using equal to? Here, equal to means extended line. So continues to the previous line, it is saying. But here we are not using equal to. What is this? What is this extended line then? For example, in the first line, in the establish word, right? We can only type only till ESTAB, right? For the rest, there is no space to type here in the text editor. But what is the continuous text? LISH, right? There should not be any space, right, in between.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you use equal to, it will start from here without any space. But here, if you don't use equal to, it will make it as a space, as a separate word. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you want to use new line star, you need to use star anyway. If you are using this editor, right, form word based editor, it would be very easy. Okay, but sometimes we need to adjust here. I'll use equal to here. Let's see how it will work. I'll select equal to. Then there should not be any space between your business. Save the text, or you can also type manually here. Terms and conditions. Okay, save the text. Is it asking any package name when I saved it?
Yes,
No. And also, it's not expecting any transport request, right? So to transport it to the next system, what is required? A transport request, right? So this is your standard text name. I think somewhere we have a print preview. Yeah. Check how your text is displaying. Hmm. If you observe this, your business, why it is displaying as a combined text? Because we used equal to. That means continuity to the previous line. Okay. So that's why it's not maintaining any space. Okay. So the perfect example is this. I'll cut here and I'll paste here. Wait. When the word is terminal, like if there is no enough space for a single word, right? Same word, right? When you need to keep it in the next line, then we use equal to. Okay? Because it should print the word without any spaces, right? So in that case, we use equal to. We have to remove star. If you add star, it will print that as a next line. So save the standard text. Actually, there is many uses in the standard text. Years ago, we created a project. All like that project, 80% of the development is related to Adobe Forms, right? That entire project development is related to Adobe Forms. And the standard text, right? We maintained in SO10 texts. Or also we have created programs to generate the emails with some bold and italic options, everything. For that, what we use is, for example, this need bold, right? Terms and conditions should be in bold, right? We have used some tags here, some identifications here, like this. And if you want any dynamic text, for example, employee ID, how we used it is like this, right? So in place of bold, whenever when we read the text in program, so we can find this bold, right? In the text, we can read the text inside the text wherever we find these special tags, right? We made it as bold, and wherever we find these tags, if we find employee ID text with this symbol, we replace this employee ID with value as a dynamic value. We did like that. So we'll see more examples when we are practicing. So save the standard text now. So I'm saying that we cannot add standard text to transport, but how to add standard text to transport? How to transport it to the test system? First, go to program, rstxtran. This is the program to add standard text. This is the one. Add script text to correction. Execute this program. This is a standard program. What is it expecting here? Correction or repair, nothing but transport request. So here we need to enter transport request, and what you need to enter here? Standard text name, whatever the standard text you created. You can also enter multiple standard text at the same time. Okay. Now, what is correction and repair? Your transport request. Whatever the transport request you want to use to transport it to the test system. Right? Let's assume we don't have any transport request available. What we need to do? What we need to do if we don't have any transport request available to add the standard text? We need to create the transport request. First, create the transport request. What is the transaction code to work with transport request?
SAC.
Go to SC09. I use SC09, but few others use different transactions like SC01 also. So SC10. How to create the transport request? Click on create. What is the type of transport request we need? Workbench transport request. We need workbench transport request. Customizing transport request. This for configurations. Usually functional consultants will do customizing data, customizing configurations. Please remember one thing. Whenever you do this customizing transport request, right? Whatever the data inside the customizing transport request, mostly client dependent data, right? So that data you should use client copy to copy it to the other client, because that's not going to be available automatically in the other client, right? Whenever you are dealing with customizing data and customizing transport request, please remember that whatever the objects assigned to that customizing request, right, mostly are client dependent objects, right? If you have a separate unit testing client, what you need to do? First, you need to do client copy. Then only your changes will be available in other client. So for now, we are creating workbench transport request. Provide the description. Save. Now our transport request is created, but it is unclassified. Unclassified means there is no type assigned. What type of transport request it is? Select the subtask. Change owner. You can change the owner. See, I'll show you one option. Right click on here. You can see this option, right? Change owner. For example, I'm working on the project and I have created many objects and assigned it to the transport request. But for some reason, I'm relieving from the project. Who will continue the development? Other user, right? So that he can change my request to his name by using change owner option. Click on change owner and provide the new user ID. You have to provide your user ID here. Okay. Whenever you want to change anything in the transport request, or you want to take the ownership of the transport request, you need to use change owner functionality. You can do it for both the main tasks and subtask. Now it is unclassified. The type is unclassified. Now we need to assign a type. Go to request, change type. Select development correction. The task type is development or correction. Right? Change the type. Now Select the subtask, copy the subtask. How am I able to copy? Click Control Y and it will show this plus symbol and select. When you click on Control Y, this plus symbol will be available. Then using mouse, select the text. Control C. Now enter the transport request number and here what you need to enter. Standard text name. This is the standard text. By using this select option, you can enter multiple standard text also at the same time. You can add multiple text at the same time to the same transport request. Okay, continue. Now we execute the program. Select the standard text. Like if you add multiple standard text, right, we can choose which one you want to really add. Okay, so I've selected the standard text using this checkbox, or you can also use select all and click on continue. Mm. Now after click on continue, transfer text to correction. Or in a different theme, you might have different options. We might have a button, but here transport text to correction or F5. F5 is the shortcut. Do you want to add text to the correction? Yes. Now your text is added to the transport request. Go to the transport request and refresh. Maybe I'll copy this. Go back, display, expand this. So your text is added to the transport request. Right? Now you can transport this transport request to other systems. Okay? Clear? Now, let's add these terms and conditions to the smart form since we are already working on the smart forms. What is the transaction code for smart forms? Smart forms.
Smartphones.
Okay. What is the smart form name? Form, EMP form. Now, yesterday we used static text, right? Go to which window? I think this window. Double click. Go to the text. Here we are using static text. So that is local to the smart form. So now instead of this, we'll use a reusable text, right? What is the type of this text element? What is the type of this text? Text element, right? Now expand this. You have different options like include text, text module. Change the smart form. I'll also rename this. Go to the text element. Also change the name. Now Instead of text element, what we need to select? Instead of text element, select include text. Yes. In include text, what you need to provide here? Text key. In the text key, provide standard text name, object type. I think text is the object type. You need to select Control F T E X T. Let me find is it available or not. Yes. Text is the text object. Text ID, I think is ST or something. I don't remember. What is text ID? Language is EN. Text ID is ST. ST means standard text. Clear? So we need to select include text for reusable text and use standard text name, text object as text, text ID as standard text. Okay? These are paragraph formats if you want to provide anything. Starts from new paragraph, new line, and append directly. So if you want to start this in a standard text in a new paragraph or not, okay, let's start from the new paragraph. Click on save, activate it. Now go back. Test your smart form now. What is our expectation? Our expectation, the text should be print from standard text. Go to SC38 driver program to test this. Smart forms example. Click on create. Take some department ECE. LP01 print preview. This is the background image. These are the terms and conditions, right? Is it printing all terms and conditions? Abuse users, intellectual property. What is the other? Potential litigations. It is not printing this, right? Potential litigations are not printing here, correct? Text is missing, right? What might be the reason?
Secondary window, maybe.
Yeah, let's go and check what is the size of secondary window. Secondary window size is less, I think. We need to expand the secondary window because secondary window is a static window, right? You cannot, it won't expand automatically. Expand the size. Click on save, deactivate. Go back, print again, print preview. So now all the text is printing here. Potential litigations also available here. So the same terms and conditions, right? You can use in any number of smart forms or Adobe forms. Okay, clear? Or you can also read the text in the program. So the text is client dependent. You have to add this to program externally. Okay, clear? So we have a function module to read the standard text, right? In programs, we have a function module. I think that is read text, read underscore text. So this is the function module we use to read the standard text into programs. When you want to reuse this in the program, right? So this is the function module what you need to use. Execute what are the importing parameters.
Hello. Sorry, your voice not ready.
Sorry. So I'm creating a sample program to read this standard text. What is the function module we can use to read the standard text? Read
Read.
text. When you want to use it in the program or inside any function module or inside any class method, you can use read text function module. So create one small program, executable program. So for now, assign it to the local object. So let's say we have a program where we need to read some standard text, terms and condition text, right? Mostly we use this when we are designing email programs like that. Okay. How to read the standard text? First, we need to call a function module. What is a function module? Read underscore text. What is the input for this? Enable client. What is ID? ID you have to pass ST. Here you have it, right? Text ID. Text ID is standard text. ST. What is language? Let's pass language, system language, or you can also pass English. What is the name? Name is nothing but standard text name. Object is text. That's what we passed in the function module, right? Yes. Now, what it will return? It will return the standard text, right, into lines. For that, we need one internal table. Double click on this. Find the type of that lines like T line. T line is a structure, I think. T line is a structure. Let's create one internal table. Data it underscore text type standard table of. Why I have created the internal table? Because it is defined in the lines, right? Sorry, tables, right? When you define when the parameter is available in tables, that means it's an internal table like structure, right? Or if it is in importing and exporting, we can identify that by checking is it a structure or a table type. Now it should read text into this internal table. Let's display this text using some CL demo. IT text. So this is your standard text, right? The function module is able to read the standard text. So you can use the standard text within the program like this using read text function module. Not only in the programs, you might call in any function module or class method or anywhere. Okay. This is also important interview question. How can you read standard text in the program? By using read text function module. Okay. Clear? If you want to replace anything within the text, what you need to do? Loop this text. If you want to replace any text with the dynamic values, what you need to do? Loop this text and update the text wherever you need. By using, for example, you can use replace all occurrences, right? You can manipulate the text in the program if you want to manipulate the standard text. Is everyone clear? So this process is also important. How to add standard text to the transport request, and how to create a transport request, and how to add that to the transport request. Clear? Okay.
Yes.